Is this the right place? I hope so. How's everyone doing today? Okay, I remembered to turn the microphone on, so we're off to a good start. Infamous, we just had a promo sale on PC. You guys will be getting it soon when the packlet gets added in, which is probably going to be in the next week or two. We got a lot of people in here. Dan, Lem, Mac, Al, Steele, Waldo, Jay, Gregory, Cooper, Get to the Choppa, Toxin, Lord Bane, how's it going? It's the weekend. I've got, perfect weekend hair going on right now. I need a haircut again already. This is at that point where when I wake up and my hair is in this sort of state, and this is after brushing it. It's like, yeah, it's time for a haircut. Rauken, Super Chris, how's it going? I like to mispronounce names. I do apologize. But yeah, Mac, I swapped over to this program called StreamerBot. So the chat overlay that I'm using is from another YouTuber, Nutty, and it's like Nutty multi-chat or something. A mixed dude had pointed me in his direction for something else, and then I found that he had that overlay that works with this program. So been playing with that for the past week and a half, 2 weeks. Well, after I woke up. Jay, I'm sorry. I got the order of events wrong. I need more coffee, okay? Dr. Nickett, how's it going? Details matter. Look, I haven't had enough coffee today, okay? Gibbs. But yeah, this is what I swapped over to from Restream. Just makes life a little bit easier. I was just a cold brew coffee. That's probably part of the issue. Is this the stream where questions are asked and answered? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. The Stow forums are going to be closing, and let me pull that thread up, actually. Yeah, let me pull up the post again here for you guys. So I talked about this in a news video the other day. Ramsman, how's it going? Ryoken, it does sound like the moderators might be carrying over to the Discord. But yeah, I talked about this in that news video on Thursday. Like many other games, they're going to be going through here and migrating all of the Arc or Cryptic games over from, using these vanilla forms over to using Discord. That has had a rather mixed response from the community. There's valid points to being against a Discord migration. Discord's, going public, so the as people call it, the enshittification of Discord is bound to be an issue moving forward. Yeah, the wording. So later on in this thread, I think it might be on the second page. Yeah, so the forums are not going to remain in a read-only format. The forums are just going to be taken down. Everything that's on them is going to be lost. So again, like I said in that video, if there's something on the forums you think needs to be backed up, preserved online, do that sooner rather than later. Because we don't know exactly when this is going to happen. It does, some of the responses here do give me the impression that the forum moderators will probably be moderating the new Discord. And let me see, was there... Yeah, like Waldo was saying, and based on this, it sounds like the Discord's already like they've got like the foundation of it set up. Ethan, thank you for the resub, very much appreciated. Cannot remember the last time I went to forums. Yeah, the official forums for Stowe have been dead for a very, very long time. Pull back up that initial post here while I respond to what you guys are saying. He's no good. Thank you for the resub. Very much appreciated. Rachel, how's it going? There are official forums. Yeah, I mean, ever since they nuked the original forums back in the day with the perfect world acquisition or arc or whatever, like the original forums had so much valuable info and then it was all lost. Dark Eddie, how's it going? Gibbs, thank you for the 10 gifted memberships. Very much appreciated. Yeah, I meant to have a new members only video out last month and then just stuff happened. I still want to get that video done though. Okay, so let me just scroll back up in chat here. Best way to get Tariu to put in work in elites, do Psi. I mean, there's a few different ways you can go about that, Hal. I did post a solo Tariu build last year when I used it for solo Corfez. And that build is still posted in the CasualSAB Discord. That is like an uncon focused setup though. To me personally, shutting the forums is a good thing, as the software that the forums run on is, as Spencer says, terrible. The data loss is another issue. Yeah. I think that, in general, the internet has really started to move on from forums, but I do think that there is still value to be had from forums that are executed properly. When it comes to Stowe, I really like my favorite STO related forum that I have seen is probably the UF Planets one. I love the design that they have for their website and for their forums. Like the format that they have here, like this is probably the best forum execution I've seen design wise for anything Stowe related. So when a forum is executed right, it can be really good. But yeah, we definitely have seen a lot of people moving away from forums, but I don't think that was necessarily the reason for the official forums dying. Sorry, I'm behind on chat. What suggestions do I have for someone who went from playing Stowe on console to PC? Just take your time, make sure you don't miss any events. Playing on PC, you're able to do a bit more, especially on the endgame side. So, just start looking around, find yourself a good group to play with. Get in the Discords. There's not as many groups doing stuff nowadays, but you can still find some good, solid groups to be around. An official Discord can't be any worse than with how banned and mod happy our Stows, yeah. I am like 3 minutes behind on chat already. Oh no. Oh, actually, I'm not that far behind. Ads are getting even longer. Oh, on Twitch? I'm sorry. Becky, thank you for the 10 bits. Very much appreciated. There's a hype training coming. Oh boy. Most people go to YouTube or social media, yeah. Jin, how's it going? Will this mean that the devs get reassigned to the game code itself, or are there? I mean, none of the devs were doing much with the forums and haven't really for a long time. So I mean, that was part of the issue. Best ship to dip your toes into elite. Anything with commander command is really good for suppression barrage. So legendary Akira can certainly work, yeah. Yeah, the spam bar is definitely. Um, I mean, if you want to use a controller on the PC version of STO, you can, but I think getting used to a keyboard and mouse just ends up being better for gaming long term. And look, I'm not hating on controllers. You like a controller, you use what you prefer, but for me, given the choice between keyboard and mouse and a controller, I'm going to choose a keyboard and mouse in almost every situation. Arsto is way better than the form, yeah. Mac, we have only come for the leaks, so take the duct tape off the pipes and let the leaks commence. Terrible. The orange chicken scraps. You think that there's any orange chicken left over? Terrible, Jay. Um, I have no leaks to share, Mac, and yeah, that ain't gonna change. There is no leaks. Zyngus, if you started at the very start of the Tholian event, so that's the third event into the year, and you played every single day, you'd be able to get it for free. If you're just starting it, like let's say in the past couple of days, you're gonna have to buy out probably one of the prior events. So you'll still be able to complete the event campaign. It's just you're gonna end up needing to buy out an event to get the remaining progress. Because you need 84 days of uh 84 days of participation in the event campaign in order to actually get the reward, and that equals of 4 complete events. And with there being 6 events and us halfway through the third event, there's a chance you're gonna just have to spend like $25 to buy one of the prior events out. Need to go to Discord for the leaks. Also, this is a question and answer stream. Yes, yes. Yeah, if you guys have questions, absolutely. Get to the choppa. Do I know? Do I know what? Question. I am using pulse phase dual heavy cannons. It says recharge is 3 seconds, but I am getting 14-second cooldown. 3 seconds is the like the firing cycle time. Is 14-second for your firing mode? That might be what you're seeing there, is how much time you have left on your firing mode. Because 14 seconds lines up with how long CSV is going to last. What is the best way to get a bug report out there other than in-game? Right now the Wiki Discord has a bug section that actually seems to be getting some devs looking at it. The new official Discord, whenever they actually get that rolled out, that's where they're going to want you to post bugs moving forward. But right now I'd say the Wiki server seems like a good place where it might get some attention. There's some stuff, I know some people have tried like adding some bugs to the devs on like Blue Sky and stuff, but you're not guaranteed a response there. Has there ever been a 1v1 queue for PvP Arena? No, you have to do that stuff private. You can do it just in a private queue. Sinovita, when are you planning to release the video on the best unlock box starship traits? That's a good question. I want to get back to the best trait videos because those have performed pretty well, to be perfectly honest. So let me take a look here. Let's take a look at those best trait videos. Without Windows 11 trying to crop the window in a weird way. So, when did I do the last one? Was it like back in January? Yeah, best rep traits. How did that do? And best personal space traits. That one's done a bit better. Yeah, those are the only two I've done so far. So that video, that's actually pretty. It's the watch time on it. That's weird for that watch time. I need to get back to doing those though, because even though they don't necessarily perform well right away, they're good long burn content where they hold value over a longer time. Yeah, the best personal space traits one's done much better. I think a Starship trait one would do really well, and that a budget Starship trait one, yeah, that would do. That'd probably be mixed into the same video like I did with the personal space traits. Uncon vid leak, I know, Gibbs. I still wanna get that done. I have a lot of videos I need to get caught up on. I've still got. Gibbs sent me some uncons to give away. They're just sitting in my my mail right now. I was waiting to do that video, and it just things kept getting delayed. Question: when I'm using Fallout, sometimes it goes gray. Do I know what interrupts it like this? Another firing mode for beams can cause that. If you're using like the Iwani console, Fleet Power Network Array, maybe that gave you a beam overload, and it's not going to let you hit thaw until the 3 seconds of beam overload's done. Should Discord start charging game companies and similar for having official Discord servers instead of maintaining their own forums? Right now, I think Discord I don't know how much Discord charges game companies for that, or if they let it be free. I don't know. Thornburg, thank you for the raid. Hope you had a good stream. Now, it's good to keep it on. Keep Fleet Power Network Array on. That is a huge buff. It's just sometimes that can happen. Just be aware of it. But even with that, the Fleet Power is providing such a large buff for the firing cycle haste it gives you that it's worth running into those sorts of issues. I missed a question here about bundles. Since I made the switch to PC, which bundle do I recommend you buy first while the bundle sale is active? You know, there's still a lot of value to be had with some of these older anniversary bundles. The legendary Battlecruiser bundle is still really strong. Honestly, for you know what is effectively a new account, probably legendary Battlecruiser, just because of the value that you get from those ships and the accessories on them. You know, you're getting a lot of really good Starship traits and consoles from that bundle. I think that's the one to go for, especially with that also coming with the T6 coupon. I think that's probably the better starter bundle to go for. Bark, thank you for the resub. Very much appreciated. Thornburg, all good. Thanks for the raid. What else did I see here? Yeah, I think you're going to get a response on the like the art side much easier. The system side, I think the issue is we don't have like a direct line of engagement with the newer systems devs yet. I mean, Bordicus is publicly visible, but Bordicus is a bit higher up the leadership chain now, so he's not necessarily dealing with some of that the smaller things that we might be complaining about. Elite Services Starter Pack is super helpful. Yeah, the Elite Services Starter Packs, can I pull that up here? I've bought this thing many times just because those extra slots, like you can buy this on multiple characters, move the slots over to the character you need them on. They can be pretty handy. Colonel Jansen, if we get a legendary Nebula and or Negvar, what traits or consoles would they include from past ships that would make either of them worth buying? I don't think we're getting like a legendary bundle as the next bundle. Um, I would like that, but I don't think a legendary bundle is going to happen near term. How do I get Elite Services account wide on console? It's a per character purchase. Um, I expect it to probably be just another like 3-ship heritage style bundle. That's my expectation. Yeah, Heritage 2 makes some money. Console might have it set up a little bit different. Infamous, I answered that before. We literally just had one. You're gonna get one soon on console with the pack lid clump ship. Oh yeah, when it did first come out, it was account wide, wasn't it? Yeah, I think I remember that. You're fine, Infamous. Um, get to the chopper. I'm glad to help. But what traits and consoles from the Nebula and or Negvar would make either of them worth buying? Well, the issue for the Negvar is there just hasn't really been many versions of that ship in the game, so getting a legendary, it would, it'd just be basically an upgraded version of the ship, one that's like actually up to modern standards. For the Nebula, the Nebulas, the accessories off of those aren't really that impactful. They're a bit more niche, so I don't think you really have too much value from a legendary perspective. Remember, legendary ships are just T6 ships that have all of the accessories from the prior versions of the ships, attached to them. Um, so I mean, they're nice from that value perspective, but in this case, for those two ships, the Nebula and Negvar, it wouldn't be the same level of value as like the Akira, the Avenger ships like that. Question on cannon: best out of Torp or just another cannon? Just another cannon right now with the firing modes. Given that we were 4 months from another 35% bundle sale and now about 7 months for a Muds bundle, do I think the Muds bundles will be annually, or do I hope we'll get one shortly? I really hope we'll get one shortly. I'd asked Suna about Muds bundle sales, and she said, every 2 to 3 months was what they were looking at. But we are way overdue for that if that's the case. I'm almost wondering at this point if maybe there was a misinterpretation of what I was asking. Maybe she's responding, as to the frequency of how often new bundles are being put in. But if 2 to 3 months is how often they're going to do Muds bundle sales, then they're way past that. But we are way overdue. Still hoping for a legendary Nadarian with rainbow effects and 15-kilometer reach at the cost of reducing the entire team's movement. People will love it. That is evil, and honestly, I want that. Merkstar, thank you for such a great recommendation. Average British Nerd, have I noticed more anomaly misfires when I've been playing recently? I haven't been playing much recently because just been busy in the past week or so, and when I have tried to play, I'm usually just doing solos, and even in there, as soon as I get like an ability misfire, or like if I'm going in to a solo ISC or HSC, and just as I'm going into the starting group, my cannon scatter volume misfires, that's pretty much just an Alt F4 and just go play something else. And it's not even worth like mentioning to support that you're running into like server performance issues like that, because they just try to shift it to your connection. And I've went in, I've tried multiple different VPNs. I've got Windscribe, I'll try different locations on that to see if that does anything different, just routing to a different way to the server. I've tried Molvad. Like I've tried different ways of routing my connection to the server to see if that improves it, but it doesn't. And the thing is, when we're in team content and all 5 players from different parts of the US, different parts of the world, are all experiencing the issues at the exact same time, that's not an issue on our end, that's an issue on the game's end. But yeah, misfires have just been getting worse and worse, is my experience, to really sum that up. A legendary Gagarin, yeah. Bridger, how's it going? Yeah, I've got, like, my internet speeds are good. I've got a gig up and down now, and like I'm rated in an area where there's a lot of fiber here. We've got a lot of data centers. Like the internet, the connectivity is all pretty well established. Everything's set up fine. It's not a local issue. I don't get why they do this with buds bundles. Once or twice a year or some FOMO effect doesn't really happen with $150 digital items. You're either going to buy it at that price or not. Yeah, I've said this in the past, and some people that like want to say negative things about me have used this as ammo against me before. But I've stated before that what Cryptic and now Deca have done with these Muds bundles is actually encouraging some people to go out and find third parties that they can purchase ships from. Because, look at promo ships. There's frequently month-long gaps between those being available, in the game. There's a lot of them that are available in Muds bundles. But then the Muds bundles, like Max said, it's been 7 months now since the last Muds bundle sale. So for someone that really wants, a specific ship, if they don't have an easy way to get it in the game, you don't even have the gambling packs in the game for people to try and get it, the only way for them to go out and obtain it is through a third party, which is something we don't want, because those third parties, have had a very detrimental impact on the Dilex and many parts of the economy. It just the approach that they've taken, it's just stupid. To be honest, my opinion is the entire Muds bundle situation. Like, I don't understand why the bundles aren't available year round. If you look on eBay, and so you can see that someone's paid $100 to get a promo ship for one character. It's not much of a stretch to imagine that if that ship was available right in the game as an account-wide unlock through a Muds bundle, for $200 to $300, they might buy that instead. And that would be money going to the game rather than to a gold seller that is then negatively impacting the economy. It just, the approach that they take, it's just stupid. I don't know why they're still doing it. I'm not here to promote that. I'm just saying that the way that they have the ship acquisition model in the game right now, they push people to seek those external routes to obtain ships. And it's their fault for not making the ships consistently available in the game. Do I think the server issue is because they're too old or what? No. I think they're running on probably relatively modern hardware. I would imagine it's probably some sort of... I mean, it's possible, that there is some routing on their side that might be causing some issues here or there. But I'm, really wondering if it's more of just optimization of, like for all the abilities players have nowadays. Like we've seen issues like that in the past where players just had too many abilities, and it was just like hitting the limits of what the game was set to like calculate per player. You just picked up a legendary Jem'Dar pilot attack ship. Nice. Mac. Yeah, like I think the MUDs prices are ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous that we're 7 months between, sales, or, that it's been 7 months since the last sale. Like, they have no issue leaving the current bundle in there at the base prices. Like, there's people that dump a lot of money into this game that they don't want to, be patient and wait for a sale. If they just left all of the other MUDs bundles in here, I would imagine that there'd be some people that would actually pay full prices for some of these bundles to get the ships account wide. And that'd be more money for the game. But like I said, with how they have it right now, some of these ships that are in MUDs bundles, you can't really acquire when there's no MUDs bundle sale active and, there's no promos, promo pack availability. They're just shooting themselves in the foot, basically. They're the model right now, it just isn't great. Someone's gonna yell at me for some of what I've said here. I know it. My internet is fine everywhere else, and somehow my game likes to lag. How about a legendary vengeance with the railgun console? That was such a missed opportunity for the vengeance to not have that. I would love to have had an effect with that railgun under the saucer of the vengeance. A legendary vengeance honestly would probably do really well for them. That I have to imagine that's probably one of the best selling lobby ships they ever did. Cryptic still on telephone lines to their servers. Is it possible they're spacing out their cash flow? I mean, maybe. Apophis, how's it going? They'd get my money again if I felt I was getting more value. I'm tired of the character-bound ship concept. My issue is how they're going to handle bug reports. The in-game system is underwhelming. So Baron, there's going to be a bug report section on the new official Discord. Stargazer, how's it going? Yeah, like CJ said, Cooper, the T6 ship boxes do update over time as new ships are added in. So yeah, you can do it. Grumpy, thank you for the 20. If someone yells at you for speaking truth about something you care about, F those. Only been here a short time, spent a lot of money. Would like to see the game last a while. Not sure Tech is on the same page. Yeah, it's like they don't want our money, is what it feels like sometimes. Best command ship? Oof. That depends. Like, that, are you looking for an escort? Delkina's really good. Your Akira there that you mentioned before, that's fine as well, the legendary Akira. There's a ton of good command ships. You want to do carrier? Then you've got ships like the Friendship. Jason, so the 10th bundle was one of their FOMO approaches, and basically that they just try to limit its availability, so it's an additional incentive for when it is available to motivate people to buy it. Norway. Yeah, Norway's like a budget Delkina. Axel, how's it going? Yeah, the campaign box doesn't update, sadly. You had to wait over a year for Cruiserweight? Yeah, and the thing is Billy, there are some of us that are willing to be patient and wait for those bundles, but, how much money are they leaving on the table? Because not everyone is willing to wait an entire year for them to run a sale to pick the bundle up. Some people will have just moved on and lose interest, in picking that thing up by the time it is available. Console hasn't had the ability to block or mute harassing chatters, spam inviters for years. I have friends who quit due to harassment. Yeah, that I've heard about that. That's really rough. Pyro, how's it going? I don't know why they don't bring all the Muds bundles back on sale every time they add a new one. I remember them doing it that way in the past, but no, I'm pretty sure that's how they used to do it. Is right before they'd introduce a new bundle, you'd see like a bundle sale, a Muds bundle sale. They used to run them alongside each other. The idea was drain your Zen before the new bundle drops, so that when the new bundle does drop, you have to put more money in to pick it up. That was how they used to do things, and now they don't. The 10th anniversary bundle, it's really quite a bit dated at this point. You can still make the ships work, don't get me wrong, but the ships, the accessories, you know, but they just don't have the same level of impact as they did, 5 years ago. So the UI lag is associated to FPS. For instance, let me show FPS one here. I'm at 60 because I'm locked, but if I go to options, if I turn off my frame rate limit here, so I'm at 4K right now. I'm at like okay, now it's going up, like 150, 160. If I turn the UI off, like I'm up in the 200s now, at 4K, 200 plus FPS. I turn the UI back on, and that's done by hitting Control Alt and F12. I immediately lose quite a bit of FPS there, and then as soon as I open, say, the DOF window, and I go to roster, look at that. If I open my DOF roster, my FPS went from, like 160-ish down to the mid to upper 60s. Oh, there's 70. I open my inventory on top of that. Now we're in the 50s. Let's open the fleet window. Not much there so far. Oh, roster maybe? Show offline players? Third. Like, I just opened a couple parts of the UI, and, like, my FPS tanks like that. That's what Borkus was talking about. He wasn't talking about, like, the game, like, network lag. He was talking about the FPS lag associated to opening parts of the user interface. Yeah. I mean, the 11th bundle ships aren't bad either. It's just the value proposition. It's too expensive of a bundle for, just 4 ships plus the 2T6 coupons. I can English. Yeah, that's true, Dark Eddie. Your FPS goes down by 1 for every of 47 duty officer you have. Did I get a 9950X30? No, I'm still on a 7950X. I think for right now, it didn't make sense financially because, as you may remember, in March, I had some stuff going on there with my mom, so was helping her out. And again, for everyone that helped there with that, all her legal stuff has hopefully now completed. I know she had to go to her lawyer on Thursday to do the actual like Zoom call with the court, so that should all be sorted now. Yeah, indeed, Omega. And nice to see you around. Um I'm sorry. Why am I in this ship? So I was gonna I was checking something for Fluffle yesterday. But yeah, this ship here is the Legendary Galax, and I don't have a build on it. I was thinking though that this would be a good one to do like a video on, because this is a legendary ship that is part of a $39 bundle, or 3,900 Zen. So this is part of the Mirror Universe bundle. It's it's a single legendary ship in this bundle along with some mirror related items, but it's legitimately like a really good ship. This is this is probably one of the better budget, like budget entry level, but still like really capable endgame platforms you can pick up. That's a lot of words. Pundis, how's it going? I missed some things here. Yeah. Captain Container, thank you for the casual membership. Very much appreciated. Going through it this week. There are some bundles I just won't buy at 50%. Yeah. I think the captain's bundles too. The captain's bundles are just stupidly overpriced for what they are. Like I still like have had points where I want to play around with this legendary Vesta, but it's like 7,800 Zen. Like that's just a joke of a price for a single ship. And again, these captain bundles, the prices are higher on them because you get a level up token. When these bundles first launch into the game, they are at a 50% discount, but then in the follow-up sales, they only ever go down to 35%. And honestly, even 50% is sort of overpriced for those of us that are already established in the game. That pretty much the captain bundles are just really, really poor value. Yeah. The legendary Dominion, that's at least a little bit cheaper. And that has some really good traits on it, so I know that one still's pretty popular. Yeah. Yeah, the legendary Galax is great. Sorry, I'm behind on chat again. Let me see here. Not a DPS hounded no more. Yeah, I remember that, Groust. The timing of some of the promo ships made a bit more sense back then. Do I think Deca will just go with the Zen Store for all ships method? I mean, that would be the better approach than what they have now. But at a minimum, I think the FOMO tactic, especially with the MUDs bundles, just it's not great. And I think it would benefit them and the game much more if all of the existing MUDs bundles were just in the store all the time. Like, they're at a stupid price. Like, if someone's willing to pay $300 for a MUDs bundle, let them, you know? I'm just scrolling back up in chat, making sure I didn't miss anything else. Yeah, the legendary Romulan Talis is good. Yeah, that's another thing too, is the Captain Bundle promo items are just for one character. There are MUDs bundles I want, but they don't return, so my wallet is safe. Michael, I did not ask about a potential lockbox UI overhaul on that stream. I think if I had, they wouldn't have. They would have just said no comment. Legendary ships and standalone bundles I could work with. Legendary ships only being available as part of a multi-ship bundle is way out of my price range. Such a price demands top tier 2, which paywalls DPS more, yeah. I tried to keep the questions on that stream to ones that I thought would be a bit more reasonable, things that I felt that they could respond to. The only one where the one where I felt like I was, pushing things again was asking if you just not necessarily for specific details, but just if there was going to be, a C-store, a second C-store bundle in the first half of the year. What are a couple of consoles for the Defender Jelly mode that boost the electrical damage? The big one is the Connie 3. The console off that does boost it up. You can also use isomags. Literally doesn't matter which variant of isomags, just any isomags will work. Grumpy, thank you for the 5 gifted. Very much appreciated. But yeah, okay, looking at this, yeah, bioelectrical wave off of the Connie 3. That's a huge electrical damage boost, and then the console off of the Hesperian. Yeah, there it is. The Hesperian also provides a radiate or an electrical buff there, along with radiation and a bunch of other things. And then there's ionic deflector inversion, which I think is off of the it's off one of the mirror event ships. Is it the Mir Somerville or something, or Mir Gagarin? I don't remember. It's off one of them, but I think the Terran Somerville. Yeah. There we go. So Tubby over on Twitch asked, did they say anything about doing a stream like that again? The dev stream. Yeah, I think they're going to. Not necessarily with me. I think they're wanting to engage with a few of the other CCs as well. So, they'll probably do one. I wouldn't be surprised if they do something with 1701 at some point. Stu 1701. Endeavor, I think, would make a lot of sense too for them to do like a ship reveal stream with. The issue, my only concern was, I generally am like with that stream, my only concern going into it was just how, I'm so much more focused on like the system side, and I wanted to make sure I was still including enough there for, for Pundis and Thomas. Infamous, the random system isn't random. The random elite system, the random system in general, will queue or will dump you into queues that other people have queued for. So, let's say I queue up right now. I'm not actually queuing up for this, but let's say I queued up for a Days of Doom. If I did that, eventually people that queued up for random would be brought in to fill that queue so that it will pop for me. So it's not random. Yeah, it's there to fill out TFOs that people have specifically queued for. Yeah, there is. Yeah, you're right. The Freedom Frigate. I don't have that one, but yeah, that's got an electrical buff on it as well, if I recall. No, I was just joking. No Days of Doom. No, it's not happening. And queuing for Days of Doom is a crime against the community. Or grab kills. Yeah, the Jelly is such a great ship, and the fact that you can make it move. So there's the Voving console. There's also the console off of the Vulcan Cheval, the regenerative shield amplifier. That's a teleport. So there's multiple teleports that you can put on the Nadarian Defender that will work and let you stay in the Jelly mode when you move. Yeah, some of the older promo ships certainly were a bit of a joke. Yeah, I know that there's some teams will abuse the random system too. So 4 of them will queue up random, and the 5th will, have queued specifically for the TFO that they were looking for, and then they'll just, make sure they all got the pop at the same time. That way 4 of the people are able to get the random rewards, but they know what they're going into. Grab kills is fun with the set team, sucks with randoms. Is there anything that allows you to move fast in Jelly mode? It's just the teleports. Let's see here. Am I caught up on chat? Wow. I did it. If I missed any questions, feel free to put them back in. What do I have for Starship traits on the Jelly? You really want to have the Rune of our enemies on. And as I take one of my traits off here, let me just reload my loadout. Yeah, so trait-wise, Ruin's a big one. The Rune of our enemies off the Merc Worker D7, because when you're in a static position and you're stacking up kills, that damage buff can be quite substantial. Then I've got Ship of the Line on, so I can still chain emergency powered subsystem abilities to get some crit severity. Then there's 5 magics, because that buffs up electrical radiation and so on. Tearing Goodbye for the crit. I've got Improved Photonic Officer on, just for some cooldown reduction. Then for the other two, I don't know why I've got Darmok on, and History will remember. I was probably just messing around with I don't know why I would have been messing with that on here. I don't know. Get to the Choppa. Do I think the Krenim Science Vessel is worth trying for to get the 4-piece flagship set? Not particularly. Those consoles, the issue is with the flagship set is most of the consoles aren't that great. You know, you've got adaptive emergency systems, you've got flagship TAC computer, and I guess the Krenim console, timeline stabilizer, that can do well, but I think right now you're probably going to see better performance just running adaptive emergency systems and then running other consoles instead. So I think I wouldn't burn resources going for the Krenim Science Vessel, to be honest. J would be the same as any other CSV build, basically. You know, Withering, Ruin, Ship of the Line, Tearing Goodbye. Pretty much just your generic DPS traits. Yeah, if you do, like Shilling said, if you are looking to level up with the Nadarian, you just go into one of the patrols that are wave-based, where you can just sit in a static position. Where does armor come from? I don't really focus too much on resistance nowadays, to be honest. Exodus, I have a video that goes over the math of isomags versus the exploiter and locator consoles from back when those came out. That gets into the numbers if that's what you're looking for. I think it's like isomag meta breakdown on YouTube. Yeah, patrols are unlocked for new characters. Yep. Yeah, you don't. If you kill enemies fast enough, there's no need for armor. Yeah. I really just have not focused on resistance much for a while. A Breen Captain start with the legendary Chelgrat would be so cool. I really like some of those older Breen ships. You know, let me find something here. YouTube. So a while back, as a bit of a joke, we did a set of DPS runs with some tier 5 ships. Yeah, and I ended up going with the Breen Chelgrat. Just because, like, that was a ship design I was always just a big fan of, and being able to bring that in and, you know, do a really high amount of damage with it just for the memes was pretty fun. And that was with a Torp setup. So this was back during like the big days of the Torp meta. Look at them. Them different cubes we had back then. It's funny to see just how far power creep has come in the 3 years since this video, because nowadays solo runs in ISC are getting higher numbers than what this had, and this was like, I think at the time the overall DPS record was like 2, maybe 2.1 mil. So this was coming up to a really competitive state and would have been, I think, like top 5 or top 10 if this run had been uploaded to the table at the time. But nowadays you compare that to just all the power creep we've gotten, especially for energy weapons, and those solo energy weapon builds are able to do this. Even some solo torp builds are getting pretty close to what this thing did. Yeah, you don't need plus weapon power isomags. You just need the isomags there because the plus max power effect they have scales up the jellyfish's electro damage. Let's see here. You already had StreamerBot downloaded? Nice. Yeah, Pyro, I believe so. Yeah, the Bozeman's a great ship. Yeah. T5 ships can do well. Lots of power creep. Where can you find Darmok? Darmok is off the Temerian. Yeah, Darmok in Jalad, that is the Starship trade off the Temerian, which was just added into the Mud Store recently, right? Okay, I can't see it because I actually have that ship, but yeah, it's off the Temerian, which should be in Muds now, I believe. Let's see what else here. What do I think of the idea of personal slash starship slash console trait sets? That'd be cool. I mean, just in general, more sets. Um, I think it has been a very big missed opportunity to not include sets on some of the recent ship bundles they've done. You know, look at the 14th bundle or the 15th and the 14th, I guess. You know, imagine if all 4 of those consoles had been part of a console set. That would have been a way to encourage people to go for the entire set rather than specific ships. So them not taking advantage of sets, especially with the new ships and new bundles they put into the game, that's a missed opportunity for them. You know, you just look at so many of these consoles, and there's ways they could have put them together into a set, giving us some extra bonuses for running all of them and stuff like that. Cooper, Thomas reached out to my business email, and we went from there. Yeah, sets are incentive to buy more, and they're not doing it. Is there consoles locked to ships that should be unbound? Yeah, there's a few instances of that still. We've seen a lot of the consoles where we complained about them, you know, being bound, get unbound in the past couple of years, and I think that there was a list recently posted on the Stow subreddit that someone had like compiled a bunch of the other like decent consoles that should be unlocked. Senovita, thank you for the resub. Very much appreciated. Any way to stop auto picking up the junk while on missions, or a way to auto sell or auto disassemble? No. Assuming you're on console there, right? Because on PC, you have to hit F for every single item that you loot. You know, you have to go through the interact to pick it all up one by one. Console at least has auto pickup for all of it. Boy, we're in a good day to die. What would my ideal mud bundle shipset be? The filthy, it'd be named the filthy casual bundle. You know, ships that I'd like on account wide unlock right now. You know, Mirror Warship, Gorn Hunter. I mean, Crossfield Refit, like those three right there. Those are like the big ones, right? Those are the big ships for endgame players where we don't have a way to get them account wide, and getting those account wide would be nice. The Friendship as an account wide unlock would also be cool. The Credence, Connie 3, yeah. If I could only equip one console per category, TAC, Inch, Psi, Uni, one space trait, one reputation trait, one starship trait, what would they be? Um, Phantom, that is a terrible idea. I can't even read that out. That's just terrible. Okay, so one TAC console. I mean, it'd be Lorca, right? The TAC console would probably be Lorca or the Fakiri Torment engine. Science console wise, I can't think of like a science specific console that I actually have wanted to slot on a build in recent years. Um, I apparently also have like none in my inventory, which says a lot. I don't know. Like I guess like one of the old crafted science consoles. I don't even remember the name of them. Nobody uses them anymore, other than like niche science builds. Yeah, the exotic particle field exciters, where they're you can get a different buff on them. I used to run one of those with EPS on it. That worked fine. Engineering wise, the boring answer would be an isomag, right? But I mean that I can't think of anything else. Taking notes. The Protostar. I wish they would bring back old raids like Terradome. It'd be cool. Now, if I could only slot like one personal trait, I mean, it'd end up being, well, it wouldn't be Uncon because I'm not, I wouldn't have consoles on in what you're saying. So probably Boimler, Fireball Escape, something like that. Starship trait wise, if I had to pick one trait, it'd be the firing mode one. Aside from that, it'd be like probably Ruin. Space rep, I don't know. Probably just a crit chance or something. I don't know. The one trait limitations is a bit rough. Oh yeah, I completely forgot about the temporal console from the old like Nikul missions, right? Yeah, Chiaps, we're talking about how wonderful the server performance is. Shrike and World Razor especially, yeah. Yeah. What's the fifth starship trait on the Jelly? This is just improved photonic officer for cooldown reduction. Yeah, so Fireball Escape has been basically bugged since launch, and it makes you just immune to all warp core breaches when it's active. Spencer opens his inventory, everyone's FPS drops. I just saw that comment, Dark Eddie. Terrible. It's a bit hard for me to see Discord sometimes because when I'm doing the streams, I have my prompter on an arm, like a mic boom arm type thing from Elgato, and normally it's just offset over to the left, but when I'm doing these streams, I rotate it right into the center of my setup, so my right monitor, my game is fully visible. My left monitor, though, the prompter is like blocking the right half of that screen. So sometimes I miss some of the notifications over there. Inventory lag? This isn't a Trizander stream? Oh no. Get to the chopper. I have 3 green Infinity Ground personal trait boxes. Which 3 would I pick from the options? Hive Mind. What else are there people running nowadays? Vicious, I think it's still popular. Yeah, definitely Hive Mind, though. Vicious, Berserker can do well. Dan, thank you for the 1 British pound. Very much appreciated. Upgraded gear, yeah. Brutal Impetus, Terran Vision, yeah. There's a lot of good ground traits. Except Bond with Life. Disgusting. That's the Pokemon trait? Yes, it is. What's wrong with the Pokemon trait? Truthfully, I don't think I've ever actually used it. I've got it, but I don't think I have ever actually went into the ground content and used it. Did I get them all? No. Terran. Jay, between those two, the Terran. Pundus, look, Pundus, I get everything I can possibly get, but then when it comes to actually using them, it just doesn't happen. Look, I am a hoarder. Both IRL with Eagle Moss ship boxes, which is why the camera is over here, because I don't want you guys to see the literal pile of Eagle Moss boxes back there, okay? And in game, I am also a little bit of a hoarder. Show the people what's under your bed. I mean, there's a lot of water cooling components, yes. New funding stream idea, getting casual to collect them all. I just was not a big fan of it. Didn't have much practical value upon this. The things die too fast. It's more of an RP immersion trade. Just not really my thing. That could be a funny stream idea, though. Going in and collecting them all. Dan, that's more of, do you have the Credence console on? Like the difference between DHCs and dual cannons, you're talking about a difference of like a percent or two, maybe? Like it's not for complex, it's for the Credence console. Yeah, I've got a bit of a hoarding problem. Just a little bit. If for some reason you were going to completely quit playing Stowe, what would I do with all my inventory? I mean, if we're at that point where I quit playing Stowe, then that would be the state of the game's really not in a great state, and there's oh, Chiaps, I like that. I like that. That's great. Yeah, look at Chiap's answer there. I mean, I've taken breaks from Stowe before. Like not long after Victory's Life, I stepped away for a couple of years just because. Not long after that, there was like I think this was right in the time frame before Disco had started, maybe. Like there was very much a gap of like it felt like things were trending downwards, and then Disco happened, and it was able to inject a bit of life back into the game, and you know, with that, and then 2020, a lot got back injected into the game, so that was a big boost. You know, I do have something in my collection, pet-wise, that Pundus you may appreciate. I don't think many people have these, but I've got the epic quality Kellids. I've got the entire set. I know Jeremy at one point had said on Twitter several years ago that there was only like 100 people or something in the game that ever got that full set because you get an achievement with it. But I got them. I got these high quality pets right here. Look at that. The highest quality. Let's get into some actual lighting. It's really expensive. Like, it took me, I think, 5,000 or 6,000 Lobi opening the packs to get a full set with a Lobi sale. But yeah, you have to get all of the other Khaled variants, all 16 of them. Yep, I got both of them. How much longer is Stowe going to be around for? I don't think Stowe's going anywhere anytime soon, Echo. Um, you know, Stowe has, I think, still many, many years ahead of it. Yeah, I mean, honestly, the best way to get the full Khaled set would be to just go through the exchange. Don't burn your Lobi on it because it'll be very expensive. I think I did a video a couple years ago showing how expensive it is to go the Lobi route. But if you want to get the full set of Khalids, be prepared to shell out. The commons, uncommons, the rares, those are fairly accessible. But I mean, there's only 2 of the 4 very rare variants even on the market right now, and the prices on them are just ridiculous. If you're looking to add special items to the game, how many people have Kirk's protege? I'm sad that my current main cannot get that. I would love that. That is one TFO I would love to have back in the game. The elite version of that was, from what I understand, you know, pretty difficult. I think I may have tried it once or twice, just didn't have a good enough team for it at the time. But like, I've got Kirk's protege on SAB, SOB, top fleet player, like all my old main characters got it, but Casual is a character that was made in just the past couple of years, so it doesn't have access to it. Yeah, because this character, when was this made? 21. Do I think they should make a normal advanced version of Corfez? I think it's fine as being elite only. I mean, that's literally the point of it, is it for it to be a challenge. It is unfortunate that it is bugged. I did mention to Suna the issues with Azure and Battle of Corfez recently, and I think I may have mentioned another TFO. Let me look at my DMs here. Okay, so I mentioned Azure and Corfez. Someone messaged me the other day and said that Azure was giving them the proper rewards now, so that may have been fixed already. But Corfez they're aware of, so I would hope we see a fix for that in the near future. But yeah, there's definitely some older TFOs I'd love to see back in the game. Okay. I missed that on Blue Sky. Thank you, Pundus, for pointing that out. So yeah, Azure should be fixed then. Dr. Nickett was that one of the old fleet TFOs? Yeah, assault vampires were fun. Do I think they might update the UI on console still? I don't know. I've heard from people that it's a very common complaint that I've seen is people are not happy with the resolution over on console. It sounds like console in general just probably needs a bit of adjustment. It sounds like people, especially on the newer console generation, are a bit disappointed about the game still looking like it did at launch. Yeah. If I had to give up one, orange chicken or stow, orange chicken. There's other chicken variants. Yeah, it's like locked at 720p or something, I heard. Any chance getting a universe class on the exchange? Yeah, it'd be under the, so you need to look up the 26th century. Yeah, just the 26th century dread pack, which isn't on the market right now. So that's what I was talking about before about, them not having Muds bundles in the store all the time is probably hurting their income a little bit, because that happens to be a ship that is in a Muds bundle. One of the better Muds bundles too. And, again, 7 months out now, isn't it? You guys were saying since the last Muds bundle sale. So, like, for people that want that ship or some of the other ships from Muds bundles, and then there being no availability on the in-game economy, that's a bit rough. Dan, thank you for the bits. Exactly, nuclear triad. General So. Did I pronounce it correctly? General So? That's what I've got out there right now. I went to Sam's, got some General So chicken from them recently. Yeah, the Votha Bulwark, that was never put in Muds, so that was in the Phoenix store, and that they never made a T6 version of it. Anorax in a bundle would be great. Cap, how's it going? Hey, Chiaps. Look, you know where my priority is, okay? Do I think Stowe should have a remake like The Elder Scrolls 4 had? I don't think it'll happen. I just don't think that's in the I don't think a remake, remaster, anything like that is on the table right now. A CasualSAB inspired Muds bundle would have to have the Sagan as its headline ship, right? Grumpy, I agree. Picked up some hamburger the other day too, don't you worry. You can get the Universe class for months, the 26th Century Enterprise J. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you see right there, that's like part of the issue, is they don't have these bundles available in the store all the time, and there's people that want these things. Like, they shoot themselves in the foot with how they've got the ship acquisition in this game. So, like, you've got the 26th Century Heavy Dreadnought pack that's, getting you the Universe, Urgath, and Valkis, and yeah, if you buy the Dread Through the Ages Muds bundle, that gets you the Universe, the Durgath, and the Valkis, all 3 variants of the 26th Century Dreads, and then you're also getting the 23rd Century Dread bundle, which has the Atlas, D9, Thry. Like, that's a really high value Muds bundle. That's why that one was a very popular bundle when it dropped last year. Now the question is, when is it going to be in the store again? You'd buy it right now if it were available. I don't think so. I would, Yan, if you want the D7 Merc Work with Light Deck Carrier on multiple characters, then I'd recommend getting it from the Disco Inferno Muds bundle when that comes back. Would love a 75% Muds bundle sale. I don't think we'll ever see 75% again. I would like to see a little bit better than 50%, especially if they're not going to happen as often. Like, imagine a 66% Muds bundle sale, you know, take them down to $100 basically. Like, do you know how many people would go crazy buying Muds bundles, you know, at $100 a pop for the choice packs? So I had something very sad happen recently. I ordered some hard drives. 2 of the 3 arrived dead on arrival. The third was working until it wasn't. Makes me very sad. Platter is 14 terabyte. I picked up 3 14 terabyte hard drives for my NAS. It is a recertified, but the seller was like an e-commerce reseller. It wasn't one of the big drive sellers like Go Hard Drive or Server Parts deals, and that was my mistake. I refunded, so I bought them through eBay. I bought 3 of them in that same order. They were a really good price, 105 per. I returned to the 2 that were done on arrival. The third was working. And then, like a week and a half, 2 weeks later, the third one stopped. Pundis, I saw that. You should pronounce ships correctly, at least when talking to me. I don't know what it is. I mispronounce Sagan. I know it's people are saying Sagan. Sagan, right? That's the correct way, is Sagan. I'm just so used to, like, legitimately just, I don't even think about it and I just say Sagan. But it's Sagan, isn't it? These hard drives were made in Thailand. These are Western Digital Ultrastar for data center. Sagan. He knows what he's doing, you sweet summer children. Terrible. All I know is right now it's warm in here. I don't even have my server on right now. And the air's on. I had to open my window still. So Spencer, what are your thoughts on the forum shutdown? You know, their forums have been dead for a while. I am curious to see how the Discord will go for them, especially if it's the same moderation. I'm not sure what the reception from the overall community is going to be, because that's like the main thing I kept seeing in every comment. I don't think I've had a video recently with as many held comments as the video I released earlier this week going over the forum shutdown. I suspect that the community run groups will probably still have a lot of the activity. That's my current expectation. Quit ordering hard drives from Temu. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. A lot of games have shifted over to using Discord, as their forum replacement. Um, Truthfully, the games that I've played where they had that, I never really interacted too much within those Discords. Like, I know Warships does that, Battlefield does that, Sins of a Solar Empire. Um, I guess if I was looking for something specific, I might look in those Discords, but we'll see how it goes. Like I said, I still suspect that the Wiki Discord, the Builds Discord, will probably have quite a bit of activity. Personally, I'm too unhinged, and it would be a risk for me to be on the official Discord. The issue with Discord, um, that the main complaint about it is the fact that it's not able to be indexed by like search engines. So, you're not going to have discussions that happen on there, that will then later on show up on like Google and whatever. Um, I'm sorry, Lem. Yeah. Now I want to know too, what, like, I know forums are a little bit dated, but I've been thinking about ways to go about the Stow builds domain. Because right now we haven't done too much with it. There's a site that Shinga put together for it, and I know that right now there's an SSL issue. I accidentally took down V'ger and Oscar for a little bit yesterday, trying to address it. Basically, I'm having issues with Namecheap, where I was stupid and had purchased an SSL through them because they make it a bit more difficult to get a free one, and I didn't want to mess with what was set up for Oscar and V'ger, but with all the issues, I was going to swap over to Cloudflare, and in doing that, changing the name servers over, it took V'ger and Oscar down. So I put it back for right now, but the idea is, like to start dumping some actual builds on there, some guides, but I'm thinking might be easier if it's in a forum style format, because then people can ask questions. Like, I just don't know what type of appetite there would be for, like, just a forum, like a build style forum, or do people feel that's already covered well enough by, Stow Build subreddit? Like, I've seen some formats that I really like. I showed earlier. Where is it? I really like the forum setup that UFP has. I don't know if it'd necessarily be that exact same forum software, but I think a forum, when done right, can still bring a bit of value to the table. And I'm just wondering what sort of appetite there is for something like that. Because forums also, they're going to last longer than the conversations that happen in the Discord. Because, what happens when Discord goes down? Everything that's, on it goes down. Still builds Discord and subreddit seem to have the main communication for builds in place. I don't know if a third place to search for answers will help too much. William, update on the next season. I feel like probably, like, if they're following a schedule similar at all to what we saw from Cryptic in prior years, then we'll probably start to hear something like end of this month, early next month, maybe, about a new the next story mission or something. Um, I do. I have thought about messaging like one of the people that work on story episodes and just being like, this isn't necessarily story related, but for the performance side of things, we have like no place that is accessible to every faction in the game to like do testing. Like, give us something at the start of a story mission that is similar to the Doomsday mission that Fed players have access to. Um, you could basically not proceed in that mission and then use that starting phase as a testing map. You could just sit there shooting the ships that are in the shipyard, and if you're on KDF, you're screwed because then you can't do that mission. Eric, I know, Stowe Academy. Yeah, perhaps, BD. That test map, I don't think they know how to fix it at this point. You know, we're almost 2 years into that being, we're a year and a half into that being broken. Can you do that in Operation Mars, where you just basically just sit there shooting for an infinite time without the enemy shooting back? Like it's just a static test dummy, essentially? Yeah, Jet hasn't been there in years. Yeah, if I recall from the prior discussions, that was always the limitation with it. Yeah, was that Jet had set it up and was the only person to work on it, and yeah. Yeah, we just need somewhere where we can actually test, just actually test, you know, for static test dummies on the live server, you know, Fed or KDF. A patrol would be the best way to go about it, but we just really need something like that. I mean, other games have, you know, like test dummies, punching dummies, whatever, where you can go test ground or space, you know, builds. We just need something like that in Stowe. Indeed, Apophis. We need hologram Picard to celebrate Captain Picard Day on June 16th. Yeah. It's one of those areas where Stowe got left behind. Like a bunch of other MMOs have stuff like that. The game is literally set in a universe with holodecks. Exactly. And we don't have an area to test builds. Building up a starbase is confusing and extremely expensive. Building up a starbase is, yeah. Building up starbases is fun. The grind is real. Did I miss anything in chat here? You have a bunch of digitizer weapons. Those are good. Yeah, those are a fine weapon variant. Game should have built-in info on how many foes one has defeated, what DPS. I mean, there is technically an in-game parser, but it's not got a user interface, and it's PC only. The interface for it is all in chat. It's not that great. You're better off just using an external third-party parser. You cannot use Oscar right now because I did not. File system has changed on your system? That's weird. Oof. Mac, yeah, that sucks. Yeah, Dan. Like, when I'm doing the solo runs, I get that misfire of CSV at the start. You know, I've got 5 minutes on my abilities. So I leave the map. I gotta wait 5 minutes for the abilities to cool down before I can go back in and give it another try. That's very frustrating. The misfires in the first place are frustrating, but then, yeah, the wait time is also quite aggravating. Cheops, I remembered to mute the microphone this time. About time still comes out with a new location for fleets to grind out. I would love another fleet holding. I don't think that's in the picture anytime soon either. I mean, the update they did for the duty officer contribution here, where you can use lithium. Is this actually going to work this time? I've seen instances where this doesn't work. Does it work now? It did, okay. I've had instances of that window not work. It's working perfectly for me right now. I thought that KDF slot was filled in the Armada. That's unfortunate to see that it is still open. You've heard every bit of that? I hit the button on... Terrible. I don't think a mirror faction's going to happen, William. I don't think we're going to see any new factions or sub-factions anytime soon, if ever. They need to increase the colony coffers. 250k is terrible. Absolutely, I agree. The coffer... The coffer system is a bit limiting. Daniel, was it in Azure? If you're on console, the fixes for Azure may not have happened yet. I'm realizing I'm not centered on the camera. Terrible. This light is just glaring off my glasses. Yeah. Some more in-game focused stuff would be nice. I would like it if Admiralty auto-slotted chips for me. I mean, that would make... The issue with Admiralty is if it did auto-slot, it would be a huge influx of dilithium and EC, but it would make my life easier. I'd probably bother with Admiralty if it was auto-slotting stuff like DOFs did. Did I not learn from the comments about having your camera on? I know, terrible. It's terrible too. I need a haircut. Look at this. It's really quite terrible. Yeah, I'm not sure what's up with that. I've seen a few comments and pictures about Jackal Mastiffs like invading everywhere on Xbox. We've seen instances on PC before where you know, you would call in or or do a summon and it just wouldn't go away. I wonder if that's happening. Can you craft isomags? Yes. In the R&D tab under engineering, you can craft isomags under advanced engineering consoles. Bearded Spencer, when? Not anytime soon, especially with how warm it is right now. Like, it's just too warm in here, okay? It's 87.3 Fahrenheit. And if I change that to communist, that is 30.7. Someone's gonna get upset by that joke, and I apologize. You got freedom units and then communist, yeah. No, but it's just the the American freedom units. Stay out of your side of the pond, you might get smacked. It's a joke. It's a joke. Don't get mad at me. Kelvin supremacy? Oh no. Mirror Spencer was more chill. I'm sorry. I apologize for that terrible joke. I've got a beard and I'm just as warm without it. Also, I can trim mine properly. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's 31 Celsius in here right now. Look, I'm from Iowa. It's not meant to be this warm. Not this early. Nice, Vienna. Glad to have helped. Terrible. Game just froze on PS5. I know 31C is not that warm. It is warm too early though. Like a month and a half ago. Was it a month and a half, 2 months ago? It was. We've seen the temperatures fluctuate a lot this year. Like a month and a half, 2 months ago, we'd have a day where it was below freezing, and then the next day it'd be like, oh, it's 70. Oh no. Epic is offering 20% cash back, are they? Well, remember, if you guys are picking up Zen on the Epic Game Store, if you're able to, then please remember to use code CasualSAB at checkout. The funds from that greatly help me out and are greatly appreciated. 20% back? That is crazy. What does that make the pricing of this then? So let's see here. Where's the calculator? You got stuck behind the prompter. Okay. So 160, 128 for 23,000 Zen. That's almost 180 Zen per dollar. Yeah, casual math. Zen is stored on isolinear chips. Indeed, it apparently is. But yeah, if you guys have the ability to purchase Zen through the Epic Game Store, which remember you can only do if you natively play the game through Epic or if you have your account linked for when it was possible to do so. It's no longer possible to do so. So if you miss that window, you're SOL there. But yeah, if you have that account link and you could do that, that's probably the best price for Zen we've ever seen because of that 20% cash back they're doing. Like that effectively makes the 23,000 Zen bundle $128. So it's 160, and then you get 20% cash back. That's a really, really good deal on Epic. Yeah, a cashback is Epic dollars, which means, you know, you just use that to buy more Zen in the future. So you are still paying $160, but you're getting 20% cash back to use on future purchases in the Epic Game Store, which can include Zen. Yeah, but we never saw 20% cash back on top of that. BD, I've complained about that in the Discords. Apophis, I don't know. They don't teach us these things in America, okay? Yeah, that is crazy though. So like you're still spending 160, but the way it works is then you get 20% cash back, and then when you're at checkout, let me just add to cart here. When you're at actual checkout, do not show my address, please. Hopefully not. Okay, we're good. Yeah, when you're at checkout, you'd have the opportunity to use the Epic Rewards. Now, the Epic Rewards have a 2-week timer, so just be aware of that. 2 weeks until you can use them. And of course, like I said, use CasualSAB at checkout. That is appreciated. And yeah, that's a crazy deal. You're aware of the Connie 2 lights? It's on the list. Thank you. Thank you. The Sumor with the Section 31 Vanity Shield definitely needs looking at. Yikes. I have not looked at the Sumor in a while. I think the con outfit is something they'd probably be best to just add to like the Phoenix store. Active ship slots. I mean, I'd love more active ship slots personally. I can't. I straight up cannot buy anymore. There was a question on the on one of the recent videos or in a Discord. I don't remember where. The reason like creators are pushing creator codes with these Epic sales is because they get a 5% cut. In your Monopoly money, Canadian, it is 176 Canadian with the discount. Is the Jelly from TNG fun to fly? It's basically a static area defense ship. If you're building into what the ship is really great at, it is area defense. It doesn't move much. You can make it move while it's in the Jellyfish mode by using jump consoles, but yeah. It's area defense. 5% is 5%. Compiler? Do I have a compiler in the roster? Oh, I'm never going to fly this damn thing. Okay. I remember I was going to do like a stream or something with it at one point. And it just like it never happened. Just one of those things where like I just don't have time. Oh, I just filled my entire inventory, didn't I? Yeah, let's see the Sumor with Section 31, because I don't think I've ever actually seen it with Section 31 on. Okay. So Section 31 is here. What don't you like about that? It's got a nice stealth approach. The lines are a little bit annoying, but I mean that's just part of that shield, right? So Like it's a stealth design. The light sucks. The new Romulus one? Oh, I was on the wrong. Yeah, I mean, it's. The nacelle and impulse effects got mixed up. Gotcha. I mean, I don't like the lines that that has right there. Wrong one. I gotta do ground. Yeah, I can't say I'm a big fan of like the lines, but how that is. Nothing right here has been annoying with that, but what is the neon pink disco vanity called? Um, isn't that the breast cancer awareness one? Yeah, that's from like a charity. Yeah. Vengeance with all Omega Rep board vanity stuff. You want to see them? I think I've got that all. You want, so the request is the full assimilated vengeance, all the Omega vanity. I'll do that for you. Yeah, the lighting on the new ROM map sort of sucks, to be honest. This material, I mean, it looks cool, but it is a little bit, it's one of them that's a little bit more dated. Put a panda hat in the game. They should bring back all the charity vanity shields into Arc Epic Steam Stores bundle. Yeah, I mean, that'd be cool. Do another thing with like Humble Bundle, Fanatical, you know, them as well. A panda hat for everyone. Ryza is incoming. Yeah, do a charity bundle, everyone wins. Exactly. Yeah, Cheops, I agree. Better lighting in the Taylor would be awesome. I think I showed this the other day too, but let me pull up GIMP. So this video I wanted to have out yesterday. Initially it was going to be out like Wednesday or Thursday, and then stuff happened, but I just did not have time to actually record it yesterday. But is that thumbnail catchy enough for you guys? The Protostar with the Proto Warp, it's just such a great looking visual. GIMP, it's the name of the photo editor I use. It's free open source software. Is GIMP that hides under his desk? Oh, jeez. Uh, I have not seen anything recent, T-Hawk, but I mean, I know Strike Group Command Authorities had issues with a few things in the past. I don't know what the current issue is. I'm not going to touch that one, Chiaps, at all. It's so the point of the video. Let me open up DaVinci. You guys can see the amount of progress I've made with this. As soon as DaVinci loads. I need a faster computer, apparently. Yeah, I've gone really far into this video. So the questions I have so far, is my head blocking them? That's good enough. Why should you care about the event campaign? How many events are part of the campaign? Because the UI in game only shows 4 right now when there is 6, so that's causing some confusion. Can you really complete it for free? How late can you start? And how to complete it early? That's what I've got so far to like cover in this video. This is basically because there's newer people that come in and ask about this stuff all the time. As the year goes on, these are questions that I get more and more often, and I want to just have a video to point people at. You know, if you're an established player, you already know these things, but this is the type of content targeting someone newer to the game that's not familiar with this sort of system. Yeah, new people coming in is a good sign for the game, yeah. Exactly. So that I saw a question about this, yesterday. I saw a question about it on the subreddit earlier in the week. Like, this is something that just frequently is asked. Exactly. Josh, thank you for the $2. Very much appreciated. Based on Azure Nebula event teams, there's a lot of new players. That's good. That is good. That's good to see, then. Good to hear. Yeah, and that's stuff definitely want to get more coverage out on. Want to start to utilize the Stow Builds website, and definitely want to get some more like some actual build guides up. If I do it the way I'm planning, basically as I do build guides, there'd be a written version as well. It's not going to be ship specific because, to be honest, the issue with ship specific ship builds is it's a bad approach to getting ship builds out there, because you're better off doing build guides that cover the entire playstyle and tell people how to adapt them to the different ships. You can if you want to give someone a specific build recommendation for a ship, the best way is just to show them how to set up the bridge officer setup and be like, here's this guide showing you how to do the rest of it. Last bribe payment. Mac, thank you for the 10 British pounds. Very much appreciated. Yeah, and I know we've got guides like this on the Discord, but that was like the thought of maybe even doing it like just in a format on the Stow Builds website, because that website, right now it's there not doing much. Want to actually start doing something with it. Mara's got a how to build an effing ship video, but that it would be approaches like that, but from my point of view, for like specific firing modes. Terrible. Sorry, I'm just reading some stuff. Mara's going to be back on the channel here in the next couple days. I recorded a video with Mara, and this Cheops guy, and this Cheops guy, let me tell you, he's quite a prick, isn't he? But I recorded the discussion on how to make ships better without making them necessarily just be meta. That is a question the devs asked, and that was recorded the other day. I have a lot of editing to do for it, and there is going to be a Stow Builds subreddit post going up alongside that because I think I already mentioned this. The overwhelming thing is just that most bridge officer abilities in the game are complete trash in the current state of the game. Cheops. Funnily enough, the three-piece Cardassian ship consoles on the shuttle is surprisingly fun. For all of the 3 missions or so you use a shuttle. What firing modes? There's only CSV. Make all specializations uncon friendly. I need to edit in some additional recording, but we talk about all that. We talk about specializations, specialization firing modes, like, yeah. Dwight, thank you for the resub 2 months in a row. Very much appreciated. Do I have any ideas on reclaiming medical vanity? Support refused, and I can't find anything. Just thought I'd ask just in case. You don't, so you have the medical vanity, but it's not showing up in the promotions tab for you? Like, it should be in the promotions tab for you to reclaim. I'm guessing it might just be the medical vanity, but let me just scroll through here. Okay. Now, medical doesn't find it. Anyone remember where this is? Healthcare. Devo, how's it going? Cheops is from Florida. The Kith will not be correct. The Kith is from this year. The event campaign box will only have ships in it that were released prior to 2025. Yeah, NeoJet. So if you wanna like just start writing up, like a breakdown of your thoughts on different bridge officer abilities. I know Mara's already done that and has several pages ready to dump when I make the post. So that's probably going to be like Monday, Tuesday for that video. Yeah, it should be in promotions, but if it's a once per character claim, yeah, that might be an issue. If you deleted it after claiming it on a character, yeah, there may not be a way for you to reclaim that then. I'm gonna go claim it on a character and delete it, just for you. It's gonna be on a market character that I literally do not care about. Okay, so health care worker. I've claimed it. So the issue is you went through and you accidentally deleted the shield. So you don't have a way to reclaim that. Now, what about the bridge officer? If I get rid of this bridge officer, does it become reclaimable? I know that there's some of these bundles that have worked like that in the past. No, it's just not giving me that option at all. Try the reclaim list. Yeah, there's reclaims in a few different spots. I don't see it in deal store reclaim. Yeah, it looks like there's just no way for you to reclaim that on a character after you've deleted it. Which isn't great. Yeah. So I think you're SOL there. Yeah. I mean that's just something that, like, on the game design side that needs to change. It really sucks that devs think non-fed ships are not selling when anytime they do one, it's an RNG slop or muds. Yeah. Well, the issue is too is when they do put one into the C store, yeah, it's a non-anniversary bundle, and the non-anniversary bundle ships are not as good stat-wise. Like if there was a Romulan ship available for $30 that had this, stats comparable to what you see with the anniversary ships, I would imagine it would move, a little bit better if it was the right stats for what people were interested in or a good ship model. But the issue is when they do put those sorts of good stats on a non-fed ship, it's going to end up being a legendary bundle. That's a higher price point. There's not as many people willing to, spend 80 to $100 on a bundle as there are people, willing to, put $30 in for a ship. So, I mean, I understand why just naturally fed ships are more popular because they are the hero ships from the show, but it's also the way that the way they introduce the non-fed ships, it's behind much more expensive barriers. Yeah, I mean, a fall extender, Jeremy said that that is something that has been talked about internally as recently as of the week of that interview, so they're aware that we want one. Um, if they put a fire at will extender that's just good, simple to use, really powerful, really effective, they put that on like on a non-fed ship, and I mean that ship's going to move well no matter what because people want the trait. Um, David, the video I just released, honestly, like all but two of those ships would be claimable from prior event campaigns. Cosmic, how's it going? You would like a beam overload, rapid fire plus high yield version of ETM? Yeah, that'd be cool for build diversity. I don't think that would be as popular of a trait, but that would be good just to have for giving people options. BD, I mean the stream went fine. I think it was pretty clear from the beginning that they're looking to expand their engagement with content creators. Was the impression that I got. So I expect that it's not just going to be them returning on like my stream. It's that they're going to be going out, probably engaging with like like Endeavor, Stu 1701. I don't know if Trisander's on the radar. Triz's timing is really not that great, so might not be the most compatible. But I think it's going to be engagement with a variety of content creators, not just me. The Suliban ship, I've got it on this character too. It's just not out right now. Hold on. Let me grab that from the dry dock. Triz should be on everyone's radar. Triz is really into the art side too. I think when it comes to the art side, the creators that they would benefit from working with the most are going to be like Endeavor and Triz. I feel like those, when it comes to like the art and visual side of things, Triz and Endeavor are probably the two that are going to be able to give the most value for them in that regard. Systems wise, that's what my focus is. I was going to grab the Suliban cell ship. I got sidetracked. Yeah. Yeah, Triz has done interviews before. Exactly. Yeah. So let's see section 31 on here. Oh yeah, it doesn't really work, does it? Very humble of me. It's the truth. That's what Triz cares about. Yeah, so yeah, you can't actually put vanity shields on this. I mean, you can, they just don't do anything. It's a wonderful little ship. Got a lot of interesting options. I understand why a vanity shield probably would not work with this, or why it doesn't. Because this ship, yeah, this is a freighter, and it is weird. Like, it lets you have all the tentacles. It's just a meme. Triz doesn't like the Enterprise J. So people like to go on and mess with Triz, and Triz leans into it. Um, it's just engagement. Gotcha. Yeah, Triz does have an Enterprise J model right up on the shelf to his left. He's secretly a fan. He just denies it. But yeah, it's the mantle of his fireplace. Yeah, yeah. You have the Ent J, but only on Tribble? Good ship. Yeah, he puts on a really good show of acting like he doesn't like it. He's a very good actor. Show them the bonus of having the cell ship. The bonus is the interior. Let me swap over to one of my ships here. I guess this one would have it. I have the Suliban interior on pretty much any of the ships I care about. Protostar or Buff and Alt. Gibbs, I know you like to have fun, so why don't you just do the Protostar, man? The cell ship interior is great. Wish I'd sold my Tuffley years ago. Worthless now. I mean, it's fine, but yeah, the value of the Tuffley isn't what it used to be. Um, yeah, any interior on any ship you own was great. You have 11 billion in assets chilling? Terrible. What are my thoughts for Obina or Credence? Right now, between the two, I'd say Credence, especially for like a pet focus setup. The Obina console is really good for like a tanky style setup where you want some survivability and damage where you're getting shot at a lot. But the Obina console is broken right now, but it is on the radar to be fixed. Borticus commented on that the other day, which I showed in the most recent news video. Actually showed in two of the most recent news videos. I made the news video on Wednesday under 8 minutes. It was like straight to the point, 5 minutes. And then I got feedback it needs to be 8 minutes. So I made sure when I was doing the follow-up news on Thursday that I reinserted that and corrected that error and made it exactly 8 minutes. Be sure to like the video. Spencer doesn't talk much about how challenging it is to live with a third. Oh no. Grumpy, thank you for the 5. Very much appreciated. Yeah, I mean, for a tanky setup, the Obina, get that console that'll help you out there. But I think the Credence just has a bit more versatility with what it's offering. Yeah, Pundis, I saw that. That was great. Lonnie, in general, I just don't really engage much with it's no disrespect to my fellow creators, but for the most part, aside from some gambling content and if I want to see a specific vanity shield on a specific ship, I don't watch too much other stow content. Like when it comes to like ship stuff, not going to be much there for me to gain. Did an entire artwork for an hour listening to you. Got a 4-2 size ship, obviously running the standard 3 torps, but should I run Lorca plus Terran Array or Disco Dual Beam Bank and another console? Hmm. They do. Let's see here. So if you've already got the 2-piece on for Lorca, then I mean the Terran Beam isn't going to do too much for you. Oh no, toss a Maelstrom on. Maelstroms have been bugged like the entire year. We weren't talking about this at first, but like we're at a point now of is it going to get fixed? But the Maelstroms are getting their charges built back up from concentrate firepower. Yeah, David, any isomag, literally any. You can go grab the cheap one that's 20k that like nobody cares about. Put it on, it'll boost up the jelly. Yeah, it's been like that since January. It got reported immediately. And I just don't think anything's going to happen about it. At least not near term. So just enjoy that for now. When it gets fixed, between those two options, I don't think it really matters, much between those two. The Terran Beam's not going to do too much standalone on a Torp setup. I believe so, Ghost. I know at least what the OG Maelstroms it is. 36th Century Crossfield is still my favorite ship in stone. That's a very controversial opinion. But I agree, it looks really nice. What are your thoughts on Connie 3 as a platform? For like a beam setup, it's fine. You've got Commander, it's Merc Worker Pilot, right? So yeah, it's comparable to this Legendary Sovereign or Excelsior. But they're very comparable ships. They work fine for like a 4-4 fire wheel setup. The Vomp is your favorite ship? The Vomp is big. It's a big, beefy ship right there. I remember being so excited getting one of those back in the day because it was one of the ultra rare T6 ships. I'm glad they moved off that approach to lockbox ships, though. That was not very user-friendly. Yeah, the first strike bundle's still good. You get yourself the Valdor shield healing console and account-wide unlock. That's good. The shield absorptive frequency generator works really well with fire at will or cannon skyfall. Platinum skinned Grand Nega ship. Do I know? So there's something on your tray that is might be like a do you have like a fire weapons command, launch hangar pet, like something like that? Sometimes that'll do it. Like launch mine or something. Like I've seen those sorts of commands throw you into red alert before. Yeah, first strike is still good though. I like my little Connie and D7 best, tiny little ships. Yeah. Sorry, I'm realizing I'm just got a window open here that's doing nothing. Let's look at the market. How many promo ships are on the market right now? There's a Vodwar Jug, Anorax, Kirk. Gem Strike doesn't matter because the legendary's in the store. There's a D7 Temporal Battlecruiser, which isn't really that amazing right now. The Atlantis is a bit better. There's a few promo ships up on the market, some even below 1.5. That's surprising. Yeah, let's check the Breen Keth. 700 mil is the first listing, then they jump up to 750. I mean, as soon as those first 4 listings are cleared, the price will be nearly 200 mil higher. Oh boy. I am seeing pings. Cindy was a nice set too. It's bad that it sucks that it's outdated. Yeah. I think they would benefit a lot from going back through, buffing up some of these older sets. It would increase the value of these older ships. Um, Especially in the Lobby store. The Lobby store is full of items that are just super, super outdated right now. You already said your favorite alien ship? You feel price gouged? Isn't it gambling time? I've got 12 million EC. I haven't sold anything on the exchange in weeks. I can buy a key. You guys are getting one single master key. I'm gonna move it over to the character I've been opening ship boxes on, or opening lock boxes on. Gotta get the correct wording. May I ask for what is um yeah, so that was which event last year was it? The Typhon? Yeah, I think that was from the Typhon. You got the pulse phaser weapon packs. Except the Omni, yeah. So basically, you pick from those. Do you want beams? Typhoon, yes. Look, there was 2 ships. Typhon, Typhoon released like right next to each other within a couple months, okay? I'm sorry. My the brain's thinking of the wrong one sometimes. Typhoon. I know, I realized my mistake. Typhon's the little carrier. This also caused internal confusion. I can imagine. Is it the 1-0 or 2-0? Dagoon? I have a brain, apparently. I think everyone's gotten those 2 mixed up at one point or another. Okay, here's the gambling for today. 1 single master key. Infinity lockbox. It's a research assignment. Documents, how's it going? Typhoon Helene, because you have beef with Hurricane Helene? Yeah. The exchange always moves a little bit slower between the bigger events. That's just how it always is. So what should I use my event campaign box on? The chicken aisle of Costco has to deal with Hurricane Spencer? Oh no. I mean, the promo packs, the DOF packs, those are no longer in the store as the promo variants, so the price on those will, should continue to go up as there's no supply of them, but there's a lot of people that banked a bunch of supplies, so they'll slowly be selling them off. What are deltas at? Deltas are at 31.25. Those are cheap. GD, so for anyone else wondering what to grab from their prior event campaign boxes, the video I did, most of the ships in there are not from 2024. Most of them are from before that. So if you still have last year's box, everything in there aside from the Obina and Credence would be an option from those older boxes as well. Okay. I don't know what to get with mine. The Ethereum, right? Intriguing as gone. But yeah, vulnerability, there are some abilities that will put you into red alert for sure. But what BD is saying is when they manually hit the abilities, it's fine. But when they do it via keybind, it sends to red alert. Ethereum has a decent trait, I've heard. I've heard that. Getting the World Razor for your Tactoon? I already have the Dauntless 2. I have the Dauntless 2 on casual. So I've got an Obina, I've got an Ariori, I've got a Lamar. I don't have a Nova 1. I have a Hirogen, I have a Credence. I don't have the Ethereum. I have the Kelvin, I have the Devar, the Duderstat, the Assimilator, Shrike. I have most of these ships. I don't have an Acheron. The Nova one does legitimately have an interesting console on it. The issue is I would want to make sure to optimize my pick for what would cost me the most to obtain otherwise. And the Nova 1, I mean, there's one up for 1.4, so that's more accessible than some of the other options. Can you buy improved photonic officer from the exchange? Yes, it is off of the Tholian Iktomi. Yeah, the Tholian Iktomi has improved photonic officer. Yeah, GD, I really hope we see Muds bundles, the proper Muds bundle sale appear again sooner rather than later. I think that all of the Muds bundles should just be left in the store all the time, and then just go cheaper during the sales, of course. But I think all the bundles should be there all the time, and I think the sales need to happen again a bit more frequently. But yeah, I mean, I played with the Nova one over on Tribble. The Nova one, the console on it has a lot of shield regen, but that's the only value the ship has. Other than the art, the art, it is very accurate to what we saw in the show. The stats of the ship, though, commander pilot and a lieutenant commander miracle worker. The art is never a problem with any ship. Exactly. Exactly. I know someone that will pick that Nova one up for the shield regen, as shield tanking is the only proper tanking apparently. Oh no. That's painful to hear. I don't know. I don't actually know what I want from my event campaign box. I don't know why I bought it or bought it out early. The Ethereum's like a terrible ship though. The Ethereum is Commander, Merrick Worker, no, Lieutenant Commander, Merrick Worker, and then Commander Science. Like secondary Merrick Worker sucks, especially on Science. It just wasn't a good layout. I know the trade apparently has some interesting appeal to some niches of the game, but it's yeah. How are Americans about to survive being 3 to 600 kilograms? What the hell? Out of the first 7 on the list, they are mid apart from the Credence, yeah. Spencer, if you get the Ethereum, you can finally do Proton Beam Overload. Yeah, the Mirror Warship is in here. I think they misunderstand the value of Merrick Worker. It's entirely for the extra console. Aside from that extra console, the Merrick Worker specialization sort of sucks. So when you have Merrick Worker in a secondary specialization seat, it's just like, okay. What am I supposed to do with this? I know as soon as I pick up the Mirror Warship, a mounts bundle will be announced. That's sort of how it feels for like any of these older ships, right? Like I don't think I'd want to burn my event campaign pick on a ship that is more than, a year or two old. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about it a bit. I mean, I guess a Shrike for one of my alt characters for the trait. Someone should do a video discussing the need to revisit Bridge Officer and specialization abilities. Yeah, I mean that'd be a really cool idea, wouldn't it? That'd be really, really cool. If only there was a video like that. Oh, it isn't gonna have sound because it's multiple tracks. Oh no. I'd have to play it in DaVinci. I said that before, Warpcore. I think they should be more than 50% off. That happened 2 years in a row for you with the Section 31 and Sticks going muds and an anniversary bundle right after you picked them. Iktomi. Iktomi. I've got it up on screen for you, Robert. Yeah, Schilling. JJ, they don't allow that because a lot of people would just be doing the event campaign on a ton of characters. Kenobi, I'm seeing your messages in game. Sorry, I'm not really focused on that chat. Acheron I mean, the Acheron's not really a good torp boat with dual temporal on it. I mean, I'm really not a fan of the Kith straight over complex because you have to cloak spam for it, and with how the game is, you tend to get stuck in the cloak. Do I have a Lost Arena? Yes, I do. Yeah, the Styx is the torp boat, and that is also available as part of the 13th anniversary bundle. Oof. You accidentally destroyed them? Yeah, that's rough. Why do we call them bundles when they're actually choice packs? It's a bundle of choices? I would love to see that, Justin. I just don't think that's going to happen. White Critter, that came up on the stream, and Jeremy said that that's been discussed internally as recently as like the week that stream happened. So, um, I think it's just a matter of time. I mean, I would hope for it to be as easy as, Withering Barrage, where it's just slot for an X second buff, I think that'd be the way to go. Are we expecting a new Mud's Choice Pack on PC soon? I don't know. Um, haven't we already seen two this year? I don't know. Any predictions on the next Muds bundle? The past couple have been them dumping like some of these older meh ships, so that seems to be the trend. Yeah, 32nd century and lower decks. Decent Mud's Choice Pack. Shangri-La's your new favorite torque boat? Nice. I would like it a Muds bundle sale soon. Absolutely. I think everyone would. A Muds bundle sale is way overdue. But I think it's time to wrap things up. I know there's been a ton of on-screen content today. This has mostly been a just chatting stream because I felt dead inside and didn't feel like doing story content or anything where I had to use my keyboard. So, do I have mail? Oh no. I do have mail. Dan, thank you. Let's go back to that character. Robert, yeah, it's Iktomi. Let me type that in chat for you. That is the correct spelling of the Tholian ship. Dear Deca, give me something to spend money on while I'm still alive. Thanks. Grumpy, I enjoy your commentary. Dan, thank you for the key. An R&D pack and 7 Lobby. Thank you, thank you. I mean, truthfully, a lot of the Phoenix stuff is just flavor. It's flavor or like budget entry level gear. There is some good doffs in there though, like the emergency con hologram. That is really great for boosting up your speed. I don't know. I think a Phoenix pack recommendation video for the lower tiers definitely is something that I need to do. Star Citizen, yeah. Nick is bugging me so much, wanting me to do a stream on it. Open the damn boxes? No. Yeah. Nick really, really wants me to play Star Citizen, and I just have rejected it repeatedly. Terrible, I know. Okay, let me find who to raid on the Twitch side here. Who do we have up? Aries is a name I haven't seen in a while. There we go. Well, let me raid over to Aries on Twitch. Need uncon for an alt. Nick is not here. Terrible. Okay, thank you everyone for tuning in. The Twitch side is now raiding out. Raid and run. Oh, did I raid him just as he was ending? Oh no. That timing. Oh, you can't? The raid was canceled? Okay, rip. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. I will see you guys around.